National Innovation Strategy. The nation station Oman FM, with the cooperation of the Research Council, presents Innovation Roadmap, an introduction to National Innovation Strategy from the Research Council.
Hello and welcome to Innovation Roadmap. Today we are looking at yet another important pillar of the National Innovation Strategy, NIS, and that is Intellectual Property pillar of NIS. Today our guest is Dr. Halima Saleh Al-Badwawi, Assistant Director-General for Academic Affairs, Directorate-General of the Colleges of Applied Sciences at the Ministry of Higher Education, member of the Intellectual Property pillar of National Innovation Strategy. So welcome to our studios.
Thank you, Lakshmi, and thank you for having me on this program.
Dr. Halima, everything about innovation depends on this pillar. That's how I see it, because without protection, how would that idea remain belonging to somebody? So can you tell us more about the IP pillar and how the importance given to this pillar and building up?
First of all, allow me to start this interview by acknowledging several people who are really key figures in bringing this national innovation strategy to light. I would like to thank Dr. Sharifa. She is the project director from the TRC. I would like to thank also Ms. Fatma Al-Ghazali. She is the lead for the IP pillar, and all my colleagues in the pillar. Going back to your question, Lakshmi, as you said, IP is really important for innovation because most of the innovation actually depends on having good ideas, and then having the right system, the right legal system and the right environment to protect this idea, first of all. And the second step, and maybe the most important step, for the idea not to stay in like closed drawers or without being used, how to put this idea into the market, how to bring this idea to the market by having really good commercial and really good, innovative environment to bring it about. So this is the general thing about the IP. I'm sure that you know about the other pillars in the NSI, which is the human resource, the economic diversification pillar, and also the integration, the institution and social integration, in addition to the intellectual property pillar. How these pillars all interact with each other is really crucial, because in order to have a good innovation, you have to create the right ecosystem. What is an ecosystem? An ecosystem is everything which is in the country that has the input, the potential, and has to create IP innovation and foster IP innovation. A human resource. We need the right people to do the research, first of all. We need the right people to train the people to do the research and find whether this idea is somewhere else. I mean, there is no point in spending your time working on a project, trying...
Not even realizing someone
else has had it in another country. So there is an international database by the World Intellectual Property Organization. People can access this database. For example, you have an idea, okay, I want to create this innovation, or I want to create this thing. You go into the database, search the database, see if the idea is there. There is no point in like reinventing the wheel, as they say. Maybe you can take the same idea and develop it or improve it, and then you can register it under your name. But sometimes they say there's nothing new under the sun, because really people have been working on these ideas and all. So for the trainers, you also need for the IP the right human capital in order to assess and in order to check. After you have this like prototype, you need people to really go and check this prototype. Is it worth taking it to the next level? Is it worth being protected or not? And all of this, you need the teachers, you need the academics, you need the students, all the people here who can really be of a crucial importance to.
So would the National Innovation Strategy be able to help in that regard?
One of the things that the National Innovation Strategy wants to do is to create the innovative economy in Oman. In order to do this, you need the help from all these different things, both government and also private, because Funding can come from private sectors, but also we need funding from other institutions or other, entities, private entities. Sometimes as social responsibility initiatives, or sometimes from R&D perspective, because it's R&D to start with.
Yeah, research and
development issue. So and also you need the right legal system. You need the right policies. Without the legal system to help these inventors, without having the policy, for example, if I look at the education institutions, Sultan Qaboos University is really a pioneer in setting an IP policy. They've been working on an IP policy and they've adapted it, so it helps and also protects the rights of the students.
Okay.
If you are a student, you did the research, how much of this, loyalty from this research, whatever, belongs to you, how much of it belongs to your supervisor, how much of it belongs to the university, because after all, you've used the utilities, you've used the equipment of the university to bring about this patent.
So it's another profession altogether.
It is. And we are, one of the capacity building activities also is that the TRC is putting people on track to do postgraduate research or postgraduate degrees in IP itself. We have a couple of people now, and also it is introduced in the national scholarship program, which is hosted by the Ministry of Higher Education.
Okay.
So you can go and do your masters or even PhD in international
and this is going to be a profession that's going to be in hot demand.
It is, because one of the things now, everything is nice, everything is on paper, but the next step, what we are planning on, is really taking this and put it into something physical. One of the things that we are planning to do is having an IP office in the Sultanate. The IP office will be really the center for all the activities, organizing all the activities and coordinating all the activities regarding IP in the country, in the Sultanate. To start with, the idea is to have it under TRC, but later on the plan is to have it as an independent entity of its own, which is able to generate revenues for the country, because people have to pay for fees to be, if you have patent, to be checked.
Now, what do they do now? They have nothing.
We have a system, but it's not as mature as in some countries. For example, we have the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. We have an intellectual property department.
Okay.
So now in Oman currently, this is where you want to go if you have, any queries, anything related to intellectual property. You can register something under your name. We have usually two types of intellectual property. We have sometimes what they call copyright, which is, works of music, books, novels, and also we have,
which has been actually doing well.
Yeah, this is has been doing well, but sometimes we also have some scientific kind of design. If you have an idea, if you have a prototype, if you want to protect it, then also you go there. A new addition to this department is you can register your patent in Oman, and it will be checked in Oman and it will be registered under Oman. That's a prototype. Everything, a prototype, an idea, you can do it and you can register it in Oman. Because what's happening up to now, if you have an idea and you send it, for example, to UK or US for it to be checked, it will be registered, but it will appear under US. But not under Oman.
I see.
Yeah, even if all the people are Omani, or all, the work is done by Omani people.
Yeah.
Once you choose an office, an IP office, to register it in UK or another country.
And then there is a fees that would go there?
Yeah, there is a fees. There is a fees that go
So that is also part of the economy?
It is part of the economy, yes. It is part of the economy. Yes, so this is how things will working now.
So we're looking at what are the main objectives of the IP pillar. So you've given us an idea already that it is to bring this whole ecosystem, but IP seem to be where it needs a lot of development, because it's not just patenting concept, but it's actually prototype. And a lot of times now the inventors actually go abroad. And have they been able to protect the prototypes, or do they lose them sometimes?
Well, some of them are able, but the idea that you need really very good team to work with you in order to prepare the proposal. You just cannot go with like a simple piece of paper and you say, this is, I want to protect it, this is a patent. There are specifications for a document, and there are some legal firms, legal offices in Oman who can help you with this.
Okay.
To write the proposal with the right set of information, with the right set of, a format in order for it to be put. Until now, we don't have it in Oman, but in the past, we don't have Oman. So people have to go, for example, to the Gulf IP office in Riyadh, or the Egyptian IP office. And some of them, if they are well off, they can go to the States. Now we are opening this here.
When will it open?
It has been opened. There is actually an employee who used to be with the Gulf IP office in Riyadh, and he's seconded for the time being in Oman. His name is Mr. Ahmed al-Hanai, and his idea is that now it can be done here in Oman instead of sending it abroad.
So it'll be registered under Oman?
It will be registered in Oman. We are currently having something registered in Oman, but not, very complicated scientific kind of research or scientific kind of product. But we don't have the able people who are going to be, judging this and assessing it and saying that.
So what do we need to do that?
We need to train.
A team.
We need to train people who are really examiners. They call them IP examiners or patent examiners, and it's a long process. Luckily, it has started somewhat, and after the national innovation strategies being officially adopted, the TRC has contacted all higher education institutions and also other institutions to have a focal point in each of these institutions. And to have them both with an academic background, but they should have some also admin power. These focal points should be with the program for a duration of time in order to build their capacity in being the linkage between the institution, the TRC, and also the intellectual department in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So what they do? They do training for them. These focal points, when they go back to their institutions, they should communicate, the cascading of the training. They go back to the institutions and they tell the students and they inform them through lectures, through workshops about IP and all the related issues regarding it. And then if the students had an idea, then this focal point is the first filter. They go to the focal point, we have this idea, the focal point will help them. And also the focal points will have some help in how to search on the database to see if this idea is really innovative or it has been done before. And then through it, they have like an institutional kind of committee. The institution agrees on it, then they send it to the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, the IP department, for the final check. So this like 3 steps. So maybe the first idea, the first step, the institution focal point saying, this is like been done before, or you can revise it, or no, it's not worthy. And then the institution as a whole, and then the third party is the IP department in the ministry. So by this, sometimes you need quantity, because the more ideas they have, the more patents that people think, then this will filter up without no like groundwork. This is sometimes grassroots really kind of work. Nothing will go up. I don't know, maybe out of 20 or 40 ideas, maybe 1 or 2 will see all, will go through all the process. And maybe out of them, a couple of them also will be in the market. Because remember, as I said in the beginning, it's not only having the idea and then that's it. I have the idea, I registered in my name. Okay, what do you do with it? The most important thing comes after this. How to take it from idea into the market. For this, we need money, because it's not easy. And if you have a product that nobody knows about, and you go and you want to sell it, or you want, not before sell it, you want to produce it, people
even
are not...
to manufacture it.
Yeah, manufacturers will not be really... Okay, if you have enough money, they will manufacture for you. But in order to have money, you need people to support you. You need financial support. This is what I'm saying when I say it's like the whole society should really believe in innovation in order for it to foster in the country.
That's a very interesting statement coming from our guest, Dr. Halima Saleh Al-Badwawi, Assistant Director-General for Academic Affairs, Director-General of the Colleges of Applied Sciences, the Ministry of Higher Education, member of the Intellectual Property Pillar of the National Innovation Strategy.
The main objectives of the intellectual property pillar of the National Innovation Strategy are building qualified individual and institutional capacities in intellectual property, increasing the number of entrepreneurship institutions that produce value-added goods and services, empowering legal institutions, effective development of intellectual property policy in the Sultanate, and creating economic return from research and development through knowledge transfer.
You are listening to the National Innovation Strategy.
This is Innovation Roadmap. Today, we've stopped at the IP pillar. Intellectual property could be the next big thing in Oman. Would you agree with me? From the sounds of it, it sounds so exciting.
We are very excited, really. And I think this strategy came, for good reasons or the bad reasons at the right time, because now with the economic, situation,
Yes.
and people are really looking for something other than oil and gas to be the main, drivers for the economy.
Yes.
So we are very excited about this, and it came at the right place at time. As I said, we have a lot of things ahead of us. This is not like an easy thing, to be honest with you, but at least we've started and we're taking small but steps at the right direction, hopefully, to be able to bring it this, inshallah. You asked me about the objectives of the IP pillar, and we kind of, really did not go through it. If you let me just spend some time talking about it. We talked about it, but in general, but I want to really pay specific attention to it. The IP pillar has many main objectives. We talked about the capacity building institutional and also individual capacity building for IP. We want to see more companies SMEs that really are based on ideas, based on innovative ideas. So we want to see more products, more services provided by SMEs. Also, we want to increase and have build a legal system, a legal policy where it will be protected for the innovators, inventors, and the innovators. And also, we want to raise the general awareness in the public regarding the importance of IP in the economy, because people sometimes think that this is only for academia or industry, but they don't see how it is related to economy. 2 days ago, I was reading in WhatsApp message that, for example, WhatsApp now, everyone uses WhatsApp. 2 days ago, I think it was last week, the article was out. The number of subscribers, over 1.5 billion people.
I can imagine, yes.
So now, how many people are in the world?
Yeah.
So if one idea, and this is an idea, WhatsApp generally is an idea, basically.
Yes.
So one idea has reached
1.5 billion people.
So imagine, and this is only now, maybe a couple of months later, it will have, reached all the corners of the world. And to start with an idea and to be able to reach all of these world, just imagine how much revenue this will bring to the economy. And you can take this example and then trace all the innovations that we are currently taking for granted. To start with, it was an idea.
Yeah.
Facebook was an idea with a student who was in his dorm and he wants to do something to connect the students in his university. And now imagine how many people have to check their Facebook page every day.
Yeah.
Imagine how much money this generates for him, for his company, and also for the economy. So it's my belief now that the economy, and many people also, the economic people, analysts, believe that the future is not dependent on fossil fuel or on tangible assets that the country can have. The future is for knowledge. If the country can produce knowledge, and if this knowledge can be commercialized, if this knowledge can be marketed to the world, if the world needs this knowledge, then the economy of that country will prosper, rather than depending on oil or depending on gas or any finite kind of resources.
Okay. We'll take a short break and be right back.
The National Innovation System requires the harmonization and integration of innovation policies. The National Innovation Strategy focuses on achieving a national innovation-driven economy. You are listening to the National Innovation Strategy.
This is Innovation Roadmap. So I like that quote. You said that future is not dependent on fossil fuel and tangible resources, but the future is based on knowledge economy.
It is knowledge economy driven future. And for knowledge, we need more people to do more research, and we need more money put into the research in order for it to prosper and have more innovative ideas and more innovative services for the public.
And you want SMEs also to have idea-based organizations. That actually brings me back two areas, but I'll take one by one. One area is that with this, we'll see also other future opportunities. One is a legal area, which would really have to quickly enhance in intellectual property rights and the needs the economy would need in the near future if it's going in the same trend as we are seeing today in Oman. And then the other is, of course, the manufacturing units. We would have to see the industrial areas really coming up with feasibilities and flexibilities basically for all these inventors, so that they don't have to go to another country but actually try it out here. Do you foresee that?
I do, and it was also from the beginning when the team for the IP was set, they are representatives from the legal private sector in the IP pillar itself.
Okay.
So our team included a lawyer who's really, has really good experience with IP policy and the legal things. Because as I said, in order for you to be able to have an idea, to protect it, to really be sure that this is yours, you have to have the right legal system. The right legal system, then you can go and commercialize this idea to the world. So we have a member from a legal office in the IP, and he's been keen on the idea. Something else also, as an offspring of the IP pillar, we have the IP pillar society was established in the beginning of this year. So
what is that, IP Pillar Society?
Yeah, it's a society under the Ministry of Social Affairs.
Okay.
So all the rules apply
just like other associations.
Yeah, like other
We have a society for intellectual property?
Yeah, and it's new.
Okay.
So this is the brainchild of the team, because we need...
Team of the pillar?
The pillar. We need people to really be involved.
And who are the members?
So
have
far
you got members
we have
already?
It has been the decree has been out for its establishment.
Okay.
But the members, it's open to all. Of course, the IP team.
Yeah.
The people working with the National Innovation Strategy, and anyone interested in IP can also join. So we are planning.
This is an open invitation to everyone who's listening to this conversation today.
It is.
Okay.
And as I said, it has been officially announced. The charter and it's up also, but we haven't had the inaugural meeting yet. It's been only the beginning of this.
Do let us know.
I will let you know, inshallah, and I think there will be announcement in Twitter and other social media outlets.
Okay.
Because the idea is we want this to reach as many people as possible. We want people to be on board if they are interested, if they think that they are interested, if they are working with the IP initiatives or activities currently, or they want to know more about this, then they can join.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is one of the things. Another thing that, of course, in the beginning of my talk, I mentioned the World Intellectual Property Organization. This is the main organization, the international organization that oversees and also encompasses all the activities related to IP in the world. We are currently having an agreement with them. A draft of the agreement was sent to the TRC, and it was circulated to all concerned parties: Ministry of Higher Education, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Manpower, the Judicial Institute, the High Judicial Institute, TRC, of course, and Sultan Qaboos University. This agreement deals with the education sector of the IP. As I said, IP has different kind of facets.
Yeah.
But being an academic myself and coming from Ministry of Higher Education, this is one of the things that we really think that we need education about this. How to bring about it, to formalize it into a legal official agreement between all the parties concerned in Oman with IP education and the WIPO. So we are
World
planning
Intellectual Property
World
Organization.
Intellectual Property Organization. We are planning, inshallah, there will be, of course, on 26th of April of every year. This is the International IP Day. And we've been celebrating this for the past couple of years. And this year also we will be celebrating it here in Oman. And we are planning to have it signed and ready by that day. So it's going to be...
The launch.
Yeah, the launch of it. The agreement is ready and signed on that day or even before that day. So we can announce it that this is one of the achievement. So as I said, we having small steps towards it, trying to put the things that have been agreed upon, the activities, the programs, the initiatives, we are trying to put them really in place to have the effect of them transferred to the society. And my main concern is with education. So
this is where the role of the universities and higher education institutes come in.
Yeah, this links really nice to the next question, because usually the academic institutions, technical and also vocational institutes, which are under Ministry of Manpower, are really the factories of ideas. Students have really nice ideas. They have projects every year. They have, graduation projects. They do research, whether the students, whether the academics, the people working there. But usually what happens, the idea, you have a project, it's marked, you get the grade, finished. Or sometimes you have exhibitions and people will display their ideas or the project.